Shabbat Shalom. In 1975, I became a loyal listener to the WBAI radio program In the Spirit. The moderator, Lex Hickson, introduced listeners to religious leaders of all religions, from Orthodox Judaism to Sufism, Catholicism, Hinduism, and Buddhism, both Zen and Tibetan, and Islam. I was attracted to Tibetan Buddhism after I heard Sister Palmo describe her life as a follower of the 16th Karmapa. I went to a lecture and I took refuge with Khenpo Katu Rinpoche in Woodstock, New York. Actually, he was sent by the Karmapa to establish the Woodstock Monastery. Members of our meditation group worked together to fix up an old resort to be a teaching center. The monastery would be built later. I received teaching from Sister Palmo to practice the mantra of the White Tara, who is thought of as the female Buddha. She is supposed to grant long life and good health to those who practice her mantra. I was to recite her mantra 100,000 times. Oh, sorry. I was to recite her mantra 100,000 times. I was and still am a stiff-necked person who always wanted to be in charge of my own spiritual practice. I had the audacity to tell Rinpoche that I read this book, The Direct Path to Enlightenment, and I could become enlightened if I practiced sending and receiving, taking in all suffering in a black cloud into myself and exhaling white light, purifying all suffering. He didn't agree with that, but I tried to be a good student. The counting of all the mantras didn't inspire me, so I could never reach my goal. I never did count to 100,000 of anything. I would walk down the stairs in my apartment building, always saying Om Mani Padme Hum or Om Tara, Tu Tara, Turi Swaha, two of my favorite mantras. I preferred to pray in the subway, surrounded by the suffering I saw and sensed all around me. In Parshat Ki Tisa, Moses gives the Jewish people the laws of Jewish practice. Tradition has it that the day Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 10 Commandments has become Yom Kippur. This holiday brings secular Jews to shul one day a year. Every fall since my father died in 1984, I would go to Yizkor on Yom Kippur and think about the many vows I had made during my years as a Dharma student. In Ki Tisa, God called the Hebrew stiff-necked people. Sound familiar? I was afraid Hashem would be angry at me because of my Buddhist studies. How would I know if he forgave me? Did I really take the vows back? Would they still be following me? I never knew, and I never felt confident with my status among Hashem's people. Moses pleaded with God for the Hebrew people to be forgiven. But was I included in that group? When he came down from the mountain after meeting with God on behalf of the people, his anger burned at the sight of people dancing in front of the golden calf. I'd like to think the people were forgiven when Hashem made the second set of tablets. When I sat in front of White Tara's photo, was God angry at me? Did that anger make me unworthy or incapable to study Torah? Upon reflection, perhaps God had forgiven me too when he made the second set of tablets. I've come to realize that the study of Buddhism can be studied alongside the study of Judaism. I'm very grateful that Judaism gives us the opportunity to renounce our vows. We have Kol Nidre, However, it wasn't as easy as I thought. I can't be the only one who wonders whether one's bad decisions are ever forgotten. How do you feel? What was good at one time of your life may not be good now. The one thing I missed from my Buddhist practice was a mantra. I had hoped for one to come from my heart. It happened when my car's brakes failed and I went through a light. There were no cars or people on the streets. After hitting one car and moving 3 parked cars, I finally stopped after hitting the 5th car. As I sat behind the blown airbag, I heard Baruch Hashem repeating from deep within my heart. I had my mantra at last. Thank you.